If you believe COVID is the reason that your business is struggling right now, this is for you. I've had so many people talk to me literally every single day, and they say, Andrew, before COVID, everything was great. I was making money, things were amazing. And now, after COVID, everything's terrible. My restaurant's failing. I'm not making any money. I'm working more than ever. And I hear this day in and day out. And I hear people say, Andrew, I know what I've been doing. Like, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing this 20 years, and I know how to run a restaurant, but everything is not working today. And so let me challenge you on that for a second, because the world is different today. After COVID, everything is different. The stuff that used to work in 2018, 2019 doesn't work anymore. Right? And so one of the most common things people say is, Andrew, the expenses of everything have gone up and I can't make any money anymore. And it's funny because then I talk to them and they say, well, my food and my labor costs are combined are 70, 80%. I'm like, well, that's not why you're making money, right? Oh, but they're not sure how to change it. Well, that's definitely something to dive into. And another one too is that they're working more than ever because they can't find the right people. Now, I've heard every excuse from the government to the president to nobody wants to work anymore to, oh, well, it's different in my state. And it's funny because I've talked to people from every state and they have all said that it's different in their state, which the truth is, there is an issue, and the issue is that you as a restaurant owner haven't adapted to the new reality. And this is going to be hard for some people to hear, and there's going to be some people that will disagree with me, and that is okay, because I have hundreds of restaurant owners that I work with that have great profit margins, that have work-life balance, that have great employees that work for them, right? The difference is we have to treat today's reality as different from what it was before COVID, because the truth is the world's changed, and if you haven't changed, you haven't kept up, right? So a lot of people will blame the government, will blame everything else, will blame the economy, will blame who knows what. But at the end of the day, when you point blame on everyone else, that actually means that you're powerless to fix it, right? If you think the problem is truly something else, right? Then what can you do to fix it? You can't control the government. You can't control what other people do. You can't control the state of the economy and stuff like that. So eventually, once you realize that, hey, the world has changed and I need to adapt what I'm doing to work in this scenario, is when you can take the power back, right? And once people come to that realization, they say, hey, I need to change what I'm doing because, yes, what I am doing is not working in this moment given this situation. That change can then lead to the results. So let's take a look at the staffing situation, right? Staffing is more challenging and people are demanding more and more money. Now, it's not me that gets to say whether that's good or bad. That is not for anyone else to say. Like I can't say that if you're paying $20 an hour, that's good or bad. At the end of the day, the market decides whether that's good or bad. So for example, everybody relates to this when I say, hey, when housing prices went up during COVID to insane amounts, and then all of a sudden, the people that were buying were foregoing the inspections, and they were saying, there are no conditions on it. Like, we'll just buy it. We're offering cash, and they're writing letters to try and, get the sellers to go with them. At the end of the day, it's a seller's market, right? And so they were able to choose, hey, we can basically do whatever we want, right? And people are still going to try and do whatever they can, but the power is in the hands of the seller. So today, the power is in the hands of the employee when they're searching for jobs. If they don't like the way they're treated, they can find another job that's going to pay them basically the same wages, right? The thing is, we have to shift to that mentality. The same way we market to our prospective customers to drive our sales, we have to also market to our employees that way. Why should they want to work for you? Because they can work 100 other places. What makes you different? What makes it special to work for you in your restaurant? And if you can figure that out and market that correctly and have the right processes for the interviewing side of things to make sure you're getting the right person in the door, that will radically change things, right? It's when we just accept anybody and we don't have a great process and we don't really show why someone should even want to work there. Well, the best candidates are going to go for the best paying positions, which may not be you. Right? So the things we have to do are to adapt the way we're doing things, because it still is possible in 2024 to have great margins, to have great profits as a restaurant, or to have work-life balance. And the question I ask a lot of people when they say, Andrew, how is that even possible? I say, okay, well, let's back up for a second. Do you think that there are any restaurants out there that are doing well right now and that have good profits and have good staff. And they say, well, yeah, there's definitely some. Okay, do you think there's any in your area? And they say, well, yeah, I know a few of them that are doing really well and stuff like that. And I say, okay, great. So what's the difference between what they're doing and what you're doing? Because at the end of the day, it is the things that we do that will change the outcomes of our lives and our businesses, right? It is not the government's fault, right? The government may have had a hand in whatever in creating the situation that we are in, or COVID may have had a hand in creating the situation that we're in. All this, we can, sure, there's reasons, but the thing is, we have to understand that it's how we adapt to it that will either lead to the success or failure of our business. And the more that we put the power and blame on other people, and the less we start to focus on what can we change to make this better, then the longer we're going to stay in the place that we're in. So if you're feeling like COVID has destroyed your restaurant, I hear it, and I hear it a lot, but that doesn't mean it has to continue that way, because there is a way to change it. You can have great profits. You can have the right people. You can do all of that. It's all possible because people are doing it right now. I work with hundreds of them. So the thing is, you have to change what you're doing and to change the way you're doing it into a model that works for 2024 in the post-COVID era. So if you want more information on that, I'd be happy to share that with you. Let me know. But if you're stuck and feeling like there's no way out and, it's everybody else's fault but yours, start to take that finger, look in the mirror, look at what you can do differently. And when you start asking that question, that's when the change will happen. All right. Bye.